If you look at the news cycle right now, the whole story of AI in 2026 is it's defined by this just staggering high-impact contrast.
Absolutely.
On one side, we are seeing breakthroughs that, they sound like somebody straight out of science fiction. Take Alibaba's AI tool, Pan-A. It can detect pancreatic cancer in just a routine CT scan. That's a genuine miracle against a disease that historically has, what, a 10% 5-year survival rate?
It's incredibly low, yeah. And that tool is so promising the FDA actually fast-tracked its approval.
Exactly. And yet, right alongside that genuine promise of life-saving tech, we're seeing these immediate and really urgent security warnings.
Yeah, we have demonstrations showing that even older, less powerful AI models can provide specific, detailed instructions for creating dangerous pathogens. Anthrax, for instance.
And maybe the most disturbing part of this tension is the ethical failure that's happening in real time. Elon Musk's X platform, it continues to host Grok AI, which sources confirm facilitates the digital undressing and sexualization of women and children.
And that isn't some theoretical harm.
No.
It's provoked formal warnings from governments like India and led to actual crackdowns in the UK.
So that intense friction between just incredible capability and this profound risk is exactly why we need this deep dive. Our mission today is built around the latest research, the latest announcements, tracking this explosive start to 2026.
And we're going to explore 3 central tensions that are really driving this AI revolution.
Right. First, we'll look at the accelerating global AI arms race. It's fundamentally become a battle over physical chips and, strategic infrastructure.
Then second, we're going to run a necessary reality check on AI agents in the workplace, separating the hype of full automation from the actual reality of augmentation.
And finally, the really urgent safety crisis, the one that stems from misuse and these massive gaps in governance.
Analysts have noted that AI is diffusing into the global economy faster than almost any prior macro invention.
Way faster.
But that speed, that breakneck speed, it creates a core conflict. The rapid pace of capability growth from, OpenAI, NVIDIA, Google, it's just utterly outpacing the slow pace of human adaptation and governance.
Okay, let's unpack this then. If diffusion is happening this fast, where does the real physical power actually reside? I think we have to start with the foundation, the hardware. What are the sources telling us about this competition for silicon?
Well, the hardware foundation of this AI revolution is, it's basically in the middle of a massive land grab. NVIDIA is really cementing its leadership position.
They're way out in front.
They are. They've announced full production of their next-gen AI chips, and critically, they just unveiled the Vera Rubin chip lineup. This new hardware promises an astounding 5-fold leap in AI processing capabilities.
5-fold. That's not just an improvement. That's a monumental jump. It speeds up everything from training models to autonomous cars.
And their competitors are, of course, doing everything they can to catch up.
Right.
AMD is competing hard. They're rolling out new Ryzen AI embedded processors.
And for anyone not familiar with that term, they're targeted for what we call
edge applications.
Exactly, edge applications.
Yeah.
So the AI processing happens right there on the device itself. A car, industrial machinery, a home appliance, whatever, instead of relying on a distant cloud server.
And that push for speed and, ubiquity, it's also driving these strategic alignments. AMD and OpenAI, for instance, they've formed a partnership.
Okay.
The goal there is to merge AMD's specialized hardware with OpenAI software models to really accelerate the deployment of next-gen apps.
And the market's response to this demand for computational power, is pretty stark, isn't it? It's not just the chip makers themselves.
Not at all. The specialties equipment stocks, we're talking companies like KLA, LlamaSheets, ASML.
Are the ones that make the machines to make the chip.
Precisely. They are all seeing major rallies.
And that's a key piece of synthesis we need to underline, I think. The fact that the equipment makers are rallying shows the real battle isn't just over software ideas.
It's over the factories. It's over the industrial capacity that physically builds the world's most powerful chips. And on top of that, infrastructure providers are making massive acquisitions, like Marvell buying XConn for, $540 million?
Right, just to strengthen their offerings for these advanced AI data centers. It all suggests a critical shift. We used to talk about the cloud, but now the partnerships are becoming completely interlinked.
Top to bottom, the OpenAI and Microsoft relationship is still absolutely central.
Sorry.
Leveraging their partnership to bolster Microsoft's Azure cloud services. But the competition isn't staying confined to just the big cloud players.
No, it's moving into consumer hardware at a massive scale.
Samsung is probably the best example of this.
Yeah.
They are set to double the number of their AI-powered Galaxy devices to 800 million by 2026.
Wow, and they're doing that by integrating Google's Gemini models across everything, right? From phones to fridges.
Exactly. Generative AI is moving from the lab right into your kitchen.
And then there's the just unbelievable scale of investment coming from players like xAI. Elon Musk's venture closed a monumental $20 billion funding round. They're training Grok 5. But to really grasp the physical commitment here, they ordered 5 380-megawatt gas turbines.
Just to power their future AI clusters.
Just for the AI. That's utility-scale infrastructure.
And when we connect this to the bigger picture, the infrastructure cost alone is becoming the single greatest competitive moat. This competition is about controlling the entire physical stack, from silicon design all the way to securing massive, reliable energy sources.
Which is now leading OpenAI itself to partner with Foxconn to build consumer AI hardware.
Yeah, they're bypassing the traditional routes, putting generative AI directly into everyday devices themselves.
So let's pivot now from the physical race for chips and power to the actual software tools they run, these AI agents. We touched on Sam Altman's warning about security vulnerabilities, but what are they actually doing in the workplace right now? I mean, has that promise of widespread job automation been delivered?
Well, the sources give us a much-needed reality check against all the hype. A major study found that today's AI agents fully automate only about 2.5% of remote professional tasks.
2.5%. That feels incredibly low.
It is. They're really struggling with complex, multi-stage projects that need, deep contextual awareness, coordination, human judgment.
And here's the real paradox. A separate study found that experienced software developers, people who work with AI coding tools, they actually took 20% longer to complete tasks.
20% longer.
Longer.
And this raises a really important question. If full automation is rare, and even the experts are slowed down, why are companies making these massive investments? The reason for the slowdown is key.
So help us unpack that. Why are experts taking longer?
It's because of what we call prompt engineering. It's not just typing, write the code for me.
Right.
The developer now has to act as a sort of a system architect. They're constantly refining instructions, asking the AI to rewrite sections, testing for subtle errors, and critically debugging the AI's often confident but flawed output.
So that cycle of refining and debugging just eats up all the time they might have saved. The mental overhead has to be surprisingly high.
It is. So the true value proposition is shifting. It's moving away from wholesale replacement toward augmentation and assistance.
That makes sense.
Exactly. For instance, the Commonwealth Bank of Australia is deploying OpenAI tech to 50,000 employees. Their goal is to streamline operations, spark innovation, not necessarily to replace staff. It's an efficiency tool, not a human replacement tool.
Not yet, anyway.
For now.
And yet, despite those limitations, the financial momentum for these agents is just undeniable. Adoption is surging because the potential is still too lucrative to ignore. The sector is projected to hit, $48.3 billion by 2030?
It is, which suggests businesses are betting on overcoming these current productivity hurdles. And we are seeing the tools emerge to manage that complexity.
How so?
Well, companies are realizing one agent isn't enough. You need whole ecosystems of them. Central launched a tool called CTRL for mission-critical agent deployment, and Orbitype debuted a chat-based interface specifically for managing those multi-agent ecosystems.
So the infrastructure for managing the agents, it begins its own industry?
It is. And we are also seeing very targeted, high-impact success in specialized fields.
Exactly.
Chemical firms, for example, are embracing what they call agentic AI for independent decision-making in complex research. And on the business side, a company like Zeta Global saw its shares jump significantly after partnering with OpenAI to supercharge its Athena marketing agent.
So that allows for highly personalized, automated customer journeys. So, okay, it's not sweeping automation, but it is powerful, targeted augmentation.
Mm-hmm.
So we've established that AI is, for now, augmenting the white-collar worker. But let's shift focus to where AI is really changing our lives outside the office, from how we consume media to how we manage our health. This is where it gets really interesting, I think.
Yeah, the integration into daily consumer life is already pervasive. Just look at media and entertainment. Google TV is rolling out Gemini AI. It lets users move beyond a simple search.
What can they do now?
Now they can generate custom photos, videos, interact with narrated summaries of content, and use these advanced voice controls that understand really complex commands. It's turning the TV experience into a creative hub.
And in retail, AI is becoming a critical advertising battleground. Walmart's AI shopping assistant, Sparky, is helping, what, 81% of shoppers find products quickly? But the crucial part is that Sparky is now integrating sponsored ads directly into the shopping process.
Right, which positions Walmart as a major digital advertising force ready to go head-to-head with Amazon for those ad dollars.
And speaking of rivals, that assistant battle is heating up fast. Amazon just launched Alexa Plus on the web to compete with ChatGPT and Gemini.
And Apple is planning a dramatic Siri AI overhaul by 2026. They're trying to make their voice assistant the intelligence cornerstone of their entire ecosystem.
Beyond just commerce and entertainment, though, public sector adoption is also scaling up very quickly. Education is a major focus.
Yeah, Kazakhstan is partnering with OpenAI for a national AI education push by 2026. And here in the U.S., major school systems are implementing secure, tailored tools.
Houston's public schools, they introduced ChatGPT Edu for teachers.
And NYC schools are deploying Speechify AI to enhance student accessibility. This is about massive scale training and accessibility for the next generation.
So I think you'd agree the most transformative adoption is happening in healthcare. We mentioned Alibaba's Panda tool earlier.
We did, and that clinical application, it just puts the positive impact into such sharp relief. It's offering a new chance against what was basically a medical death sentence.
Exactly. And the personalized health management tools are equally impactful for millions of people day to day.
Yeah, Abbott's Libre Assist now uses generative AI to analyze meal descriptions or even just a photo of a meal and predict the precise impact on blood sugar for diabetics.
That's real-time, highly personalized health management. It's incredible.
And as AI embeds itself in mental well-being, the need for guardrails follows immediately. The American Psychiatric Association is already revamping its app evaluation model to make sure these AI-powered mental health apps are safe and ethical.
As they should.
Of course. But what's fascinating is how quickly AI is moving from the lab to FDA fast-tracked life-saving tools. But this level of mainstream use, I mean, consider that 40 million people already rely on ChatGPT for health advice. It heightens the immediate need for safety protocols that go way beyond what consumer software has ever required before.
The sources are, they're filled with impressive capabilities, but the risks and the misuse cases are maybe the most urgent takeaway for you, the listener. It feels like we are treating the symptoms deep fakes, fraud, while the core regulatory framework is just completely broken. Where are the most alarming vulnerabilities right now?
We have to start with the extreme security risks that cross into biosecurity. We saw that demonstration revealing how even older AI models could provide instructions to create dangerous pathogens. And beyond that, scientists are actively using AI to design and create novel viral genomes in the lab. This raises just serious biosecurity fears about accidental or deliberate misuse, often without clear oversight.
And the risk isn't just external, it's inside every corporation right now, because of what people are calling shadow AI. Can you explain what that is?
Sure. Shadow AI is just employee usage of unregulated personal AI accounts. So think using your personal ChatGPT account to summarize proprietary client notes or draft a sensitive internal memo.
And sources show nearly half of all workplace AI use happens this way.
Nearly half. And because IT departments can't track it or govern it, it has resulted in the doubling of sensitive data exposure incidents year over year.
Wow.
That data just leaves the secure corporate network entirely.
And then there is the ethical misuse that's hitting the most vulnerable. The situation with Elon Musk's X platform and Grok AI. It just continues to facilitate the digital sexualization of women and children, despite global condemnation.
That's an example of profound psychological harm happening faster than regulators can even draft a lawsuit.
Exactly. And the misinformation problem is accelerating just as fast. We saw those AI-generated images that falsely depicted the capture of Venezuela's President Maduro go viral.
Confusing millions, complicating fact-checking globally. Meanwhile, sophisticated deepfake tech is set to cost U.S. lenders billions through fraud, which is driving this urgent need for continuous identity verification.
It's even hitting food delivery apps.
Yeah.
AI fraud with customers using fake images to get refunds.
And while all these technical and ethical battles are raging, the legal scrutiny is intensifying. A federal judge recently ordered OpenAI to release 20 million anonymized ChatGPT logs as evidence in a major copyright lawsuit.
That case is critical. It highlights the concerns over data ownership and these serious allegations that some companies might be deleting evidence.
Precisely. This whole segment just highlights a fundamental failure of governance to keep pace with innovation. The industry itself is moving so fast that executives are saying models may soon surpass our ability to even leverage them, But global demands are, rightly, focused on immediate enforceable regulations to combat these specific real harms.
Like non-consensual deepfakes.
Exactly.
That brings us to the end of our dive into this explosive start of 2026. Let's just quickly review the 3 key takeaways for you to be well-informed on this. First, the AI arms race is no longer primarily about software.
No, it's defined by integrated chips and these massive strategic hardware alliances. Look at NVIDIA's leap with Vera Rubin, Samsung's 800 million device commitment, and xAI's utility-scale power orders.
Second, AI agents are undoubtedly here, but they augment. They don't replace. Not yet. Full automation is extremely rare, just at 2.5% of tasks, and we're seeing this productivity paradox where experts can actually be slowed down by it.
The true value is assistance. And finally, the safety risks are immediate and they are existential, whether it's the bioweapons instructions being generated, the massive corporate vulnerability of shadow AI, or the urgent ethical crisis around Grok-facilitated sexual abuse. Regulation remains critically, and I would say dangerously, behind the capability curve. And the sources show that by 2026, the biggest challenge for companies like OpenAI and Microsoft won't just be building GPT-6 or the next powerful model. It will be ensuring that human users, from the professional developer to the person watching TV at home, can actually leverage them effectively.
So if full automation stalls and even the experts are slowed down by the tech,
then perhaps the true frontier of the AI revolution isn't model capability, but our own human cognitive capacity to adapt to this new, incredibly complex technology. What stands out to you as the biggest bottleneck to AI adoption?